Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about are nuts and bolts. So, nuts and bolts means different types of variable declarations and other data-oriented data structure format supported by R. So, going through in the variable declarations with examples, we can see lot of examples. How can we declare a variable? How can we process the data using the variable? And how can we create? Bolts means here vectors. Vectors means similar to arrays in other programming languages. So that is a two-dimensional structure similar to an array. So we can go to, we can go in detail to the descriptions of different nuts and bolts in R. So first nuts and bolts. In this chapter we will learn about the nuts and bolts, the most basic type of objects in R. R is an object-oriented programming language which is supporting object-oriented programming language, not basically, but basically everything in R is an object. So, for example, if we want to calculate a square, we can calculate it as follows. See here, a is a variable. We are passing a value 5. That is, arrow operator means equal to in R. So we can use both. So we are assigning a value to a, that is 5. And a square means a double star. Square means exponential means here double star. So we assign 5 to a, while a is often referred to as a variable and a is already an object which can be a variable. Objects in R means those may be variables or those may be functions or those may be connection handlers means the handlers which link other functions or other external applications. That may be everything. An object means that may be everything in R. You can consider it as a variable or as a function or a handler. Each object in R has specific class and can have a set of class-specific attributes and generic functions. In case a is assigned with a value 5, a is a vector of class memory with length 1. So because if you are considering a is assigned a value 5 means that is only single instance. Single instance means you can consider it any time, but the value is numeric means that is a variable of single instance or a vector of single instance. So coming to the vectors. Atomic vectors means single instance vectors. R comes with 5 so-called atomic vectors or atomic classes. Atomic vectors are the most basic classes on which most high-level objects are based on. These are, that is, what are the data types that are supporting to vectors means arrays. Those are double, that is floating point, integer, that is numeric, that is 1 long to 121 long, 5L, that is etc. Integer L indicates the integer form. Long integer form. Logical, true or false. Character, you can pass in any format. In double quotations, what information you are passing, that may be a character. And complex numbers also, because R mainly supporting complex data type because it is supporting statistical data process. But in other languages, complex variables are not available. This is one extra data type supported by R. So you can always check the class of an object by calling the function class. So when we want to check a variable that's related to which class, you can use the function class. So here you can check, for example, x is assigned a variable of 1.5. Simply you can type class of x, you can get numeric. If we are passing 555L class of x, that is integer. Numeric means that is double. Integer means that is whole numbers. If we are passing a character string, we can get character. So these are examples how can we check the class of an atomic vector that are different data types. Next, know the basics of vectors. Vector data types. So it is fundamental to understand the basic complex of data types of R. More complex objects are based on these basic data types. Hence, once you have understand the basic types, easily you can understand anything. So first you know variable data types in any application language, then you can use that variable in expressions and problem solving of it. So here the classes available are double, already we seen in previous slide. Double, that is numeric data type, integer, logical, character and complex. So here other representations, that is nothing but where we are using these atomic classes in vectors, in lists. So vector always supports matrix format or array formats and also factors. List supports data frames, that is the table of data formats, and complex objects means that is the complex variables. So these are the two atomic instances where we are using atomic classes. So the simplified schematic sketch shows the 5 atomic vectors on the left hand side and how they are linked to more complex objects. So here, coming to the basics of atomic classes. First one is double. The one atomic class that are first instance is one atomic class data class are double. Double precision floating point value, the extension for double. Double is actually not often used in objects of type double are simply called memory, and the class of floating point numbers will be also used. So how can we declare a double variable? You can in R no need to declare. You can create a variable and pass the value depending on the type of the value. Variable data type can be converted to the two fields. So here I am passing 1.5. So x value is 1.5. I am passing 10. X value is 10. So this is integer, this is numeric. Next, coming to the integer data types. A second atomic class are integers. Integer can explicitly define using so-called suffixes L representing integer, while 1 will be numeric. 1 L will be integer. So when we are passing only 1, that can consider it as double. If we are passing a suffix L, that can consider it as integer. So example, 10L, this is integer. If we are passing only 10, that is numeric. So this is important, not important to most of the time when you are using R, except when it is. There are some situations where integers are required. That is mainly in data sets we are using integer data types instead of numeric values. Next, coming to the third atomic class, that is logical values. Logical values are either true or false. They are very simple. When they are having only two data types, either true or false. So you can pass a value true to x or pass a value false to x, and you can display that class using the class function. Next, fourth data type, that is characters. The last atomic class which we will deal with this character class. The character is basically just a text that can be of any length put in quotations. So here is the example. X is the set of characters asked here is passed to x. So displaying that when you are simply typing x at the prompt. And similarly you can pass the class of x, you can get character. Next. Taking the function, the class which returns the data type of any variable. That is nothing but function. Class returns the class of any object, maybe integer, already we see numeric, character, logic. So these are the examples. The return class of class is an object of class character. That is itself integer, or itself is Boolean or logical, or no. So here, for checking, when we are passing a value to a variable, whether is the value relative to that object class or not, we can use this function. Is double returns true if the variable is memory. Is integer returns true if the variable is integer. Is logical returns true if the variable is true or false. Is character is returned true if that is a character data. So these are the functions for checking the variable value instance data type. And next coming to double versus numeric. Let's make things more complicated. If you are new to programming, this might be confusing. So here, that is nothing but how can we vary between double and numeric value? Numeric means the only whole number without having any decimal partitions. That is commonly we are calling as numeric in other application language. But when we are coming to R, we are calling a double itself as a numeric. So for that one here, how can we clarify between a double and a numeric value? A double is a double object of type double, real, float and integer. A double is a precision floating numeric value. Depending on the programming language, they might be referred to double, real or float. That is nothing but in other application languages, double means float. When we are coming to the numeric, numeric means the value numeric always represents integer values in other programming languages, but in other programming languages, double and numeric are both different. But when we are coming to R, both are same. So here, in practice, we can use the type of function to understand the difference between double and numeric. Type of function is double, is integer, is numeric. So when we are passing class the value 1, class X returns numeric, 1.0 also returns numeric, 1L returns integer. When there is 1 or 1L, both are same. But type of X is double. When we are passing the same X to type of X function, it returns double. When E is double of X, it returns true. And E is integer form. E is numeric is also. Because numeric and double both are same. And when you are coming to 1.0, this is of numeric and our type of is double and is double is true. Integer is false. Is numeric is also true. When L integer, type of integer, which is not double, which is integer, which is also numeric. So numeric returns true both for integer and double. So that is the difference between numeric and double. This table shows that 1 or 1.0 are class of numeric, but 1L is of class integer, but that also returns true for each numeric function because this is also an integer. So this is also a numeric value. So numeric can return true for both double and also integer values. So that is the difference. Next, coming to vectors. Vector means an array of elements. So far we have seen single instance variables. Example, X is assigned with a value 5. So to assign more than only one single element to an object, vectors can be used. A vector is basically a sequence of elements, like an array. Vectors can only take up elements of one class, similar to array. Those cannot take multiple class instances. String has a vector. A character vector can only contain characters. Numeric vector only numeric. Integer vector only integer, etc. Vectors can be defined in different ways. One option is to create a new vector by calling vector function. This function can take two parameters. So how we can create a vector? We can see it. So let's see. Vector function consists of two parameters. First parameter is of data type of vector, and second one is length of the vector, that is how many number of elements. And similarly, vector of character length is equal to 3. So in this way, we can create a vector or parameter. We can initialize the values also. As you can see, both vectors are empty. the default value of numeric vector is 0. If we are not passing any parameters, default value is 0. The default of character vector is empty space. So, that is how can we create this vector. So, here in this example, C is a vector of 5 elements. So, this creates a vector of length 5 integer elements. So, this is the examples of vector creation. X is a vector of 3 elements of double data type. X is a vector of logical data type with 3 elements. X is a vector of vector with values of ones. X is a vector of characters. X is a vector of integers. X is a vector of complex data type. And this is also 15 colon 20 means 15 to 20. So, X consists of 5 elements, 6 elements, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Colon represents always begin and ends of the vector, that is lower bound and upper bound. The example shows that you can also use T and F instead of true or false. Next, we can also create vectors using different functions also. Here we will have a close look at what different types of functions which are used to create vectors. Sequence. The sequence and repeat functions. These two functions are also used for creation of vectors. Sequences are a set of numeric or integer values between two well-defined points with an equidistance. That is, creating a sequence of values with equal differences among them, that is called a sequence. That is nothing but in normal vector we can create data types with the same. Values may be different, but in sequences, values should have same difference, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So, the difference of that number is 1. So, in sequences, you have to pass the values that should have the same difference among between one another. Repeat allows to repeat a number, that is repeatedly representing the numbers, then we can go for repeat. So, here are some of the examples. Sequence from 1.5 to 2.5, length equal to 5. Then automatically it can create 1.50, 1.75, 2.0, 2.25, 2.5. Sequence of minus 44 by difference of 0.5. So, minus 4, minus 3.5, minus 3.0, minus 2, minus 2, 2.5, minus 2.0. So, in this manner, we can create sequences. When we are coming to the repetitions, which can contain the values more than once. So, here example, these are all sequences. So, here repetition. Repeat 1.0, 5. That is nothing but you have to repeat 1.0 5 times. So, this is the output. So, this is the repetition. When you are using repetition, you can pass the boundaries and also number of times. A number of times that can be repeated. So, here 1, 2, 2, this is the boundary. Variable should be repeated with that. So, next character sequences. If you need the letters of an alphabet, there are two convenient letters which are already available globally. Those are uppercase letters and lowercase letters. So, you can use the character sequences using these letters. Next, coercion means mixing of objects with one another. That is nothing but data type mixing. Combining characters with integers, numerics with characters, numerics with logical, etc. Vectors contain only elements of one type. What happens if we try to mix elements of different classes? Example, a numeric class and a character class. So here we are mixing both. A vector p of 1.7 comma a class x. This is a character. When we are mixing, always we are going to check the precedence of the data type. So character data type is always having the precedence from the numeric data type. So X object is of class character. Why? The reason is that 1.7 can be converted into character, but they cannot be converted into numeric value. Thus, R converts the numeric values to characters. So, quotation 1.7 is now used. So, if there are any errors in this type of conversion, we can use the functions for converting one data type to another data type for correction. So, those functions are as.integer, as.memory, as.character, as.logical and as.matrix. So, for example, here we are creating x is assigned with value 0 to 4, that is a vector of 0 to 4. When I want to convert this vector into character, I can use as character of x. Then automatically that can be converted into character. And similarly, I can use as logical of x, that can be converted into 2r forms, etc. So these are the functions for converting one data type to another data type if necessary in correction. That is missing the data type with one element. Next, missing values. So far, we have not been talking about missing values, means empty cells in a data set or in a variable. R knows two types of missing values. NaN, not assigned number, and NA. NaN is not a number and results from mathematical operations which are invalid or illegal. NA means missing value, NA still have classes. So NaN is used in mathematical, NA is used in another data type of character or integer. Here is an example. Numeric is dot NaN of x. True is dot NA of x. For example, here x is assigned with 0 by 0, class of x. Numeric is dot NaN of x is true because that is no value, not a number. If you just NA to an object of the class, x will be logical. So NA is for logical data type, NaN for mathematical data type, represents not a number, there is no value. That is nothing but empty cells or empty nodes in other data structures. Here also we are using empty cells using NaN or NA. Correction summary. So here x is passed the value 2.9, as numeric is 2.9, as integer is 2, as logical is true. Whether this is logical, whether it is a number or not, so true. As character, quotation 2.0, as numeric 0, as integer 0, but this is not logical forms. And as character 0, 4, similarly, there is a value which is 2. And 0, this is false. And for true, this is true. For true, numeric and integer values are always 1. As character, this is true. This is also as character 2 and value forms, logical value forms. And numeric and integers are 0. A, this is NA, not assigned value, NA, and as character A. True, NA. So here, NA for character data type. As numeric, NA. As integer, NA. So, this is the correction summary for NA. Next, coming to the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are plus, minus, multiplication, division, exponent, double multiplication, symbol, exponent, double percentage, that is modulo. Modulo means division with remainder. So here you can say 100 modulo 15 means how many number 15 divides 100? 6 times. And remainder value is 10. And integer division is 6. Integer division means quotient value. Modulo division means remainder value. So, modulo is giving remainder. Integer division gives quotient value when you are dividing. Vectors and vectors. We can use a vector with another vector. So, like for loops in other, for matrices and others. We can also use arithmetic using vectors. Let's start with two vectors of the same name. That x and y contain a set of three numeric values which would like to add up. Then you can create a vector with another vector. So x is 500, 400, 600. Y is 10, 600. Then x plus y equal to 5, 10. 405. This is 5, 405 and 7. So that is a vector can be performed, operations can be performed one vector within another. So vectors and vectors. We can perform different types. So this is of matching length, means here 2 elements, here 3 elements. Vectors of different length, non-matching length, then how can we perform the operation? So here there are 4 elements, here there are 2 elements. So then this can add the values repeatedly to the remaining. So here 100 is added to 500, 2 is added to 400, and again 100 is added to 600 and 2 is added to 800. That is the non-matching length. If there is non-matching length, the adding sequence may be, that is less sequence, which is having less sequence, that may be repeatedly added to the previous sequence of the value. Next, logical values, that is nothing but missing values in logical values. Arithmetic operations can also perform on logical elements. So, these are arithmetic operations on vector elements, on logical elements, numeric elements. On logical elements, how can we perform? If we multiply a vector of true false by a vector of 100L, R will return the result 1L, 0L into 100. Why? 1L means that is the integer representation for true. 0L means integer representation for x. Then for false. Then multiply 100L with these two integers. So when we want to perform any operations, we have to convert the variable data type into similar structure. So here we have to convert true or false into integer data type and then multiply 100L integer with those. So the resultant value is 100 into 1. One L into 100L and also 0 into 0L into 100, and that is 0.0. This is 100L. So here we are passing a value by 2. So this is the missing values. What if we perform an arithmetic operation or missing values? All operations involve missing value. We always result in a missing value. Column 1, 2, A, N, A into 100. So this can become 100 initial value, 200 into 2, not a sum, and not a sum. If we are multiplying with 100. And similarly, when we are multiplying with a not a sum, all are not a sum values. Missing values multiplied with any integer, all are missing values. Missing value multiplied with an integer can get result missing value same. So this is actually data types, that is nuts and bolts in our vector creation. In next class, we can see presence and function structure.